Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Nick.
And we're gonna get back into another episode of My Hero Academia. And, oh boy, it has been a little bit of a ride so far. This entire season has been. But especially these last couple episodes coming out of the war arc, getting out of, the whole Shigaraki, Shigaraki, but it's really all for one. Breaking, prisoners out of 6 different prisons. We're kind of getting back into hero society again, but it's not the same hero society that we've been saying for the first 5 seasons. Now that all this craziness has kind of settled down a little bit, even though it's still kind of happening, because of course the villains are rampaging through the streets, all the civilians are not they're not too happy with the heroes. Of course, they're kind of right now outside in mobs, outside of the hospital where Endeavor's at. They're kind of protesting. They're not too happy with the heroes, and they're actually starting to take matters into their own hands. We saw last episode that one of the prisoners that broke out of the prison, he started to rob a store or something, and then he came across a bunch of civilians with support items, and they were able to take him down. So we're starting to see the civilians actually start to rise up and be like, hey, we don't need the heroes anymore. They're not going to protect us. They haven't protected us for a little while now, so we're just going to do it ourselves. And so that's kind of what they're thinking, and it's really an interesting mindset to have, because of course there are not enough heroes, especially after, a lot of them died. A lot of them are seriously injured, so they're not able to work again. And then there's that third option. They're quitting. A lot of them are just quitting because they've seen the devastation. They don't want to be a part of that. So I'm really intrigued to see how Hero Society is really going to settle in the next couple episodes. If it's going to even be the next couple episodes. It might take a long time for it to even settle. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to see what's going to go on next, especially with the Todoroki family, because they are in quite a bit of trouble, if I do say so myself. So I'm really excited to get into it and to see what's going to go down this episode.
Yeah, I mean, last episode was quite interesting because we got to see what it looks like when a city doesn't trust heroes and they have to rely on themselves. Like you were saying, there was a lot of villains attacking, right? Because there was no source of protection like the heroes to be able to protect them right away. So they had to rely on themselves, the civilians, to be able to protect themselves with their own quirks or their own weapons. So we kind of got to see that a little bit in last episode, where the civilians had to protect themselves against people that were trying to either rob or destroy things. So that was also quite interesting. And then we saw Best Jeanist and Hawks in the Batmobile chillaxing. No, but kind of seeing them together. It's been a minute since we've seen that, so I was kind of cool to be able to see top heroes together, such as Hawks and Best Jeanist. But seeing them together was cool. But yeah, man, this is gonna get kind of interesting because with these higher tier villains, right, that are out, once they launch their attack again, it's gonna get really bad, really bad. And I don't know how they're gonna protect them, the civilians, because Deku's in a coma with All Might there, and then you have Endeavor, who is just still recovering. You have a lot of 1A students still recovering, even though a lot of them are fine. Bakugo with stab wounds. So it's a lot of things that kind of happened. But now, at the very end, we're going to get into more of the Todoroki family, more of the backstory. Even though we have had a lot of backstory with the Todoroki family, but more so kind of with Toya and all that jazz, so I'm pretty interested into seeing kind of maybe with some things that they left out previously, because I know before they didn't include everything, but it's still gonna be cool to see everything in backstory. I always love backstory, even though in this case it's kind of terrible, but it gives us a nice build on the characters and where they are now, especially with Endeavor, because he's a totally different guy, right? But seeing him back then to now, it's gonna be like night and day comparison. But also maybe some action, with the villains. Maybe this episode, kind of towards the end, that's where they strike. And if that's the case, then the heroes are in a lot of trouble. But yeah, man, I'm just really excited to see what happens this episode, and I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, that's right, guys. And if you want to see the rest of our reactions to My Hero Academia Season 6, then make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button, and that notification bell to be notified when we release our content. And click all the links down below in the description for all our social media links, and drop a comment below for anything you guys want to talk about. We love to engage with you. We want to hear your thoughts on this episode specifically, but if you guys want to talk about the season in whole, or any other specific topics you want to go into, we'd also love to hear your thoughts about those. So just, drop a comment for anything you guys are thinking about. But without further ado, let's just jump right into My Hero Academia, Season 6, Episode 17. Oh, this is when Endeavor first met his wife. Right. Right, of course we know how he was like back then.
Right.
ナンバー2ヒーローの地位と名誉、そして持参金目当てに日村家の当主は俺の提案をあっさり断ることもできたはずだ。個性婚であることも承知の上で家のために俺の妻になるという。花が好きか？はい、とても綺麗。
Those are the flowers that she's holding.
大丈夫なのか？
大丈夫じゃないよ。一番辛いのはあなたじゃないし、あの子を見なかったのはあなただけじゃないから。
Oh yeah, that's very true. I think we talked about it briefly, but we were like, I wonder how she's feeling with Toya.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of her. We've only seen like a couple scenes with her really in the entire 6 seasons, but yeah, I'm really interested to see her thoughts on the whole Todoroki family and Toya and all that, because we haven't really seen any of that so far. I'm kind of conflicted on whether to call him Toya or Dabi now.
Yeah, real.
Because we've always known him as Dabi, but I mean, he really is Toya. He's crying blood. The wrong way to put out a fire.
お前のためなんだ。
炎の個性因子はより色濃く引き継がれているのです。体はお母さんの方を強く引き継いでしまう。炎の耐性よりも氷結。寒さに適性のある体なデザインじみたことはね。この個性時代やめといた方がいいかと。ともかく。
That is not something to tell the old Endeavor.
Right.
最悪自分の炎に焼かれて大怪我をしてしまいます。
お前ならオールマイトを超えられる。より強い炎を持つお前なら。
Oh, how I've missed All Might.
Right.
なんで個性訓練しちゃダメなんだよ。ちょっとやけどするくらいなのにさ。全然我慢できるの。でも冬美もトヤにボロボロなの心配。冬美ちゃんにはわかんねえよ。女の子にはわかんねえんだ。俺はもう超えたいって思ってるんだ。手をつけたのはお父さんだ。あなたが子供に何を求めてるか、トヤはもう知ってる。
毎日新しいやけどを作ってくる。諦めさせるにはそれしかない。トヤには超えられない。
I mean, so we've seen at least he cares for his kids a little bit, and in
Right.
the past, where he doesn't want Toya to keep burning himself. Is that Shoto?
Oh, is that Shoto?
Yeah.
俺も超えられるよ。こんなに強い炎が出せるようになったんだ。 これのこと見てよ。
ダメだ、なぜわからん。
Yeah, I can see
ここまでのやけどを負ってなぜわから
Toya is
ないんだ。
trying his best to like impress his dad or do what his dad wants.
ユミや夏男と遊べ。学校で友達を
Now he's just kind of pushing him to the side.
そうしていくうちに忘れる。
学校の子はみんなヒーローになるってさ。わかるはずないだろ。お父さんの子供なんだから。
Oh, what the?
お父さんが火をつけたんだ。勝ったことになってできないんだよ。これを見ろよ。エンデバー。俺を見ろよ。
Oh, he's gonna attack Shoto?
ショートを他の子らと一切近づけさせない。これを仕事でずっと面倒を見るわけにはい。そのために使用人もやと。お前も東野から目を離すな。
出てるだけじゃないの。
Oh. Probably not the best thing to say to him.
Okay, so a little time's gone by. Oh, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
ショート見るな。彼らはお前とは違う世界の。
親兄たちと遊ばせて。
ダメだ、出力訓練だ。
And he kept Shoto away to protect him, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
From Toya.
Yeah.
その時は俺が悪かったよ。ショートに罪はなかったもん。お父さんも悪かったんだよ。俺たちは失敗作だから相手にされない。もう何度も聞いたってば。夏くんまで俺をたしなめるのか。わかるだろ。うちの女はみんなダメダメなんだ。たまにはクラスメイトと遊んでみたり。友達なんかいらない。お前本当にヒーローになりたいの？お父さんに縛られて苦しんでるよ。
Ooh, oh gosh. Yeah, he's just kind of obsessed with his father.
Yeah.
何を知ってんだよ。おばあちゃんたちが貧乏してたからお母さんを売ったんだろ。だから俺が生まれたんだ。母さんも加担してんだよ。
火は消えない。体の変化とともにその炎は。
そうか。身体機能だもんな。
Oh, and he's gonna... Is this where he supposedly dies in the fire?
And this why his body gets all burned up. This makes sense.
Right, yeah.
高ぶるとなんだって涙が出ちゃうんだろう。今度の休み、セコトだけに来てよ。
やけど、東野、お前まだ。
すごいことになったんだ。必ず来て。オールマイトにも負けないかもね。俺を作ってよかったって思うから。
Oh no.
なぜ東野を止めなかったね。
選択肢は限られていたけれど、選んで進んだのは私の足で、その先では笑っていようと思っていたのに、私じゃ止められない。
Can't just, like, put that all on her.
Right.
お前がやれ。
その目をやめて。その目をやめて。
Oh, and this is where she burns him.
Yeah.
完全に心が壊れてしまう。あなたはセコト岳に行かなかった。
あの子の感情に薪をくべてしまうだけだ。なんと声をかけたらいいのか。
I mean, I guess I kind of understand Endeavor's thinking. He didn't want Toya to hurt himself and encourage that behavior, so he just kind of shoved him to the side. But it's not the right way to go about that.
Right.
自業自得だよな。
Not the right way to put out a fire, if you will. Ah, okay, I get the name of the episode.
すべて諦めていれば、東野を殺してしまったことで、後に引けない。
After I killed Toya, he feels right. He feels entirely responsible for, you know, Toya's death
Right.
before he realized.
子供たちにまであなたの面影を見るようになってしまう。壊れているのを知りながら、怖くて踏み込めなかった。
全部あんたが始めたことで、あんたが原因だ。俺がぶん殴ってトーヤ兄と向かい合わせてやれてたら、ダビは生まれてなくて。
責任はあなただけのものじゃない。あなたはダビと戦うしかないの。
Right.
Right. He's made a lot of mistakes, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but right now he needs to get on his feet and try to fix them the best he can.
恨んで当然の私を再びお母さんと呼んでくれた。遊泳高校でお友達を作って、私たち家族をつなぎ止めてくれた。ショートがうちのヒーローになってくれたのよ。
お前がもう戦えねえと思って泣き終わったら立てよ。みんなで東野兄を止めに行こう。
話立ち聞きしちゃいました。その家族旅行、俺らもご一緒。
Foxy
Hey.
Mischievous.
うちの息子が申し訳ありませんでした。
Oh, okay.
ダビについて伺いたかっただけです。盗み聞きは違法デニムでしたが。
違法デニムとは。
Yeah, what
Yeah.
is that?
What is legal denim?
どう生き延びどうやってダビへと変貌を遂げたかは
あなたの昔の映像とかよく見てましたけど、若い頃の執念がまさかこんな形で肥大していたとは。東也くんのお話ってことで出てきませんでしたが、翔太くんのやけど
近い。
私です。
そっか。
Hawks is starting to put the pieces together himself.
あの人たちに向き合えなかった。
翔太くん、君はかっこいいな。
Huh.
エンデバーさん、外は今地獄です。血がらき、ダビ、トガヒミコ、スピナー、スケプティック、逃走した解放戦線構成員、そして7匹のノーム。
And also don't forget all about the
タルタロソ。
Yep.
people from
the
the
6 prisons.
yeah.
少なくとも1万以上の
We didn't forget about those either. Yeah, 10,000 prisoners. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
That is a lot.
風向きの悪さを察したヒーローたちが今も続々と辞職中。ヒーローを信じきれなくなった一般市民が武器を手に取り、ヴィランと戦うことで、現在政府は各国へ救助隊。
So heroes from different cities and different places are being requested.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
は戦う他に道はありません。そして俺たちもです。
Yeah, I mean, don't get it wrong. A lot of the responsibility for what happened with Toya is on Endeavor, but it's not all of it.
Right.
今は違う。
Oh,
Oh, his wings! They are going back. Let's go.
let's go,
I
baby.
was afraid they'd be gone forever.
こっからはトップ3のチームアップです。ほら、俺らとご家族。少しは肩も軽くなって立って歩ける気しません。
Dude, why is this OST going so hard?
早速ですが、まず南の
Oh man, the Todoroki family is finally back together, with the exception of Toya.
ゆっくりと答弁内容を考えたんすけど、一つ不明瞭な要素が。ワン・フォー・オールって何なんですかね。
Oh no.
それ、そういえばさっき
シガラクトの戦闘時エンデバーがつぶやいたというワン・フォー・オール。
I mean, Endeavor doesn't really know what it is either. It's just he just heard Shigaraki say that.
我々はそれの正体を知らなきゃいけません。
But there's only one person besides
通信失礼します。シガラキは僕を狙って
Deku.
Oh, he realizes Deku knows what it is. Because Shigaraki was after him.
なんで俺が起きてて
Yeah.
あの怪我を見た時は嫌な想像をしてしまったが
うららか、緑や体は無事。
No. I mean,
大爆殺神ダイナマイト
he got by his hero name.
緑に話したいんだけど、
今は
You know, that's actually saying something. That's funny.
ブルマイトが
エンデバーさんは緑谷君が死柄木に狙われているとそこにオールマイト。
Oh no, they're gonna start figuring it out.
一体ワン・フォー・オールとはなんだ。
少年の中のワン・フォー・オールの中の私を先代たちと話した
Oh.
のだね。
Oh, I didn't even think
Oh,
about
he's
that.
Yeah, me neither.
Man, dude, this episode was amazing. This is probably one of my favorite episodes in all of season 6. I love the way they did the flashbacks with Endeavor and his son Toya and just their relationship, how he felt, but also kind of coming about full circle with Dabi, like why he looks the way he looks, what was happening to him. Like he was burning himself because of how strong the flame he has, right? So that's why he's like all burned up, but also like the resentment that he started to build up towards his family because he wanted him to become like obviously to beat All Might as the #1 hero, but in the process of doing that as a kid he was starting to burn himself, so they kind of like restricted him to not go after that anymore because he was hurting himself, which I was being a parent, that makes a lot of sense. But to the kid, he didn't feel like that, and he felt like his parents weren't really supporting him, and then he just started doing it on his own to the point where he was just like he had this whole resentment and started doing it on his own. And one day, like it was saying with the fire, which makes sense, he started to develop like a really strong flame which burned down the whole forest, or a big part of the forest, and that's where he started getting all his marks, or like burn marks. But then he naturally started getting a blue flame, which he was kind of explaining that. But yeah, that was kind of like interesting, that whole backstory, like with Toya. I think that was really, really well executed. Also, the animation really was like really well done in this episode, especially. So that I was really good too. But excuse me, what I really liked as well was everybody coming together, like taking some of the load off Endeavor. It'd be like, this isn't just your fight. This is not just your battle. This is not just your fault. This is all of our faults. Like talking about the Todoroki family, you know, like it's all their fault. Like majority Endeavor, but there are some points where the family could have done better to maybe take a little of the load off Endeavor. But yeah, man, this was a great episode. I like everybody coming together. But now we are left with the cliffhanger with, because I didn't even think about this, with Deku being in the coma, but seeing the past wielders of One For All. And he's going to be talking with them, and hopefully we get to see that next episode.
Yeah, man, this was a really good episode, and like you said, the animation was just on point for some reason, but but yeah, man, I really love this episode, and we finally got, of course, we got little hints, little drops of the Todoroki family backstory throughout the first 5 seasons, but we never really got an episode just for, explaining their situation, having Endeavor's point of view of the past, because it's always been Shoto's point of view. It's like, oh, my dad just dragged me along, kept me away from my siblings, never let me have any fun, trained me and beat me, and drove my mom to insanity. But, which, that's fair, it's all true, but it's not the whole story. So we finally got to see Endeavor's side, which, I still don't like it, but, it is a little bit better, I guess, than what just Shoto's point of view, where Endeavor, he did all those things, yeah, which makes him horrible, yeah, but he also showed little glimpses and little specks of caring about his children, actually, where we did not see that with Shoto's point of view, where, and one example would be just with Toya, where he actually seemed to care whether he would get burned or not, and that's why he tried to get him to stop being a hero, get him to stop using his quirk, kind of pushed him away, kind of never really talked to him or interact with him, because he thought that if he did, he would just encourage him to use his flames, which would get him hurt, and which it kind of actually turned out being the opposite, where the more he ignored him, the more he pushed him away, the more he used his flames, which is kind of ironic that it's kind of the opposite than what he thought. But, I mean, I guess he was trying to do the right thing, but again, that doesn't really excuse him from all the horrible things that he has done.
Right.
And, like, at the end that they were saying there, he's done a lot of terrible things, but it's not all on him. Like you said, there's a lot of things that the family could have done better, they could have helped out more, but, yeah, man, I really like how at the end of the episode, they're actually all coming together, they're talking about what they need to talk about and being like, yeah, we all messed up, now we're all gonna take a part of the blame, and we're all gonna try to fix it. And, of course, Hawks and Besjenis came in, and they kind of included themselves into that, saying, yeah, we're gonna help you. But, yeah, I really love the Todoroki family dynamic at the end of the episode here, and I'm kind of wondering, are they gonna try to save Toya? Because they just said they were going to go after Dabi, go after Toya. I don't know whether that means they're going to catch him and just, like, throw him in jail, which I'm sure a lot of people would like doing. But I also know his family's probably like, you want to try to save him and try to redeem him if possible. So, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, but I would really like to see that ending, honestly, because it would bring a whole, like, circle to Endeavor's redemption. Obviously, Toya wouldn't be a villain anymore. He'd forgive his father or get all that sorted mixed out. But yeah, man, it was a really good episode. And like you were talking about with Deku at the end there, I never really thought anything about him being in a coma. I just, oh, yeah, he's in a coma. I guess we'll see him in a couple days. But as they said at the end of the episode there, he's actually, or well, at least All Might thinks that he's talking to the vestiges of One For All. So I'm assuming that's going to be our next episode. Just seeing what's going on inside Deku's head and seeing what they're talking to him about. I don't know, maybe I have no idea what they could be talking about, but I'm really excited to see this next episode and to see what exactly is going to happen in Deku's head.
That's right, guys. And if you guys want to see the rest of our reactions to My Hero Academia Season 6, then make sure you guys like and subscribe. And also click on that notification bell to be notified when we release those videos. And also click the link down in the description down below of all of our socials. Just give them a follow and stay up to date for our news for our channel. And also as well, comment down below what you thought of this episode. What was your favorite part and what you're looking forward to in the next episode of Season 6 of My Hero. And yeah, man, thanks for all the support. Really do appreciate every single one of you guys. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace.